Hi, Miss Colebeck's class. My name is Mr. Ferriter, and I am a 6th grade science teacher in a place called Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm also the cousin of Brianna in your classroom, and she sent me this guy the other day in the mail. You recognize him, don't you? And she also asked me whether or not I would send you a postcard from my state, North Carolina, that you could add to your U.S. map. So I dropped this postcard in the mail. Now, it's a pretty interesting postcard if you guys are into history, because it tells you where North Carolina got our nickname from. We're called the Tar Heel State. In fact, if you guys are basketball fans, you may have heard of the North Carolina Tar Heels. They're a pretty good basketball team. Well, that nickname comes from something that happened during the Civil War. And I won't spend a lot of time telling you about it, but if you're interested in history, go study the Civil War and see what you can figure out about North Carolina's role in it. What I really wanted to tell you today was something that wouldn't fit on the back of my postcard. I wanted to tell you about my favorite hockey team. We're called the Carolina Hurricanes. And there's our logo. I'm wearing my jersey today. That's supposed to represent what a hurricane looks like from above if you're watching it on the weather forecast. Now, the Carolina Hurricanes are an NHL team. They play against the Buffalo Sabres pretty regularly. They won the Stanley Cup a few years ago, which I think is fun. But the name hurricane actually tells you something about our state. A hurricane is a big natural disaster. It's a storm that usually happens sometime in between June and the middle of November. They can happen anytime. Usually each year there's multiple hurricanes. And hurricanes bring really high winds, like over 100 miles an hour, which is super fast. Like your mom and your dad, when they're driving on the highway, the fastest that they're allowed to drive is probably 65 miles an hour. So the winds in a hurricane can go faster than a car, which is pretty amazing. Hurricanes also bring lots and lots of rain. So when you combine lots of rain and really high winds, lots of damage can occur when a hurricane is going on. Oftentimes you'll find power lines that'll fall, and trees will fall in people's yards, or they'll block people's roads. It's a pretty dangerous storm. And down here in North Carolina, we get them regularly. They happen quite a bit. They usually start down in the warm waters near Florida, the warm waters of the Atlantic Ocean near Florida, and then they move right up the coastline, and they oftentimes will hit our state. So that's where the name of our hockey team comes from. It's sort of a reminder that our state has hurricanes that occur. Isn't that kind of cool how you can learn a little bit about a state from their sports teams and their mascots? The other thing that I think is fun about the Carolina Hurricanes is that our literal mascot is a pig. His name is Stormy the Warthog. And when I first learned about our mascot, I was really surprised. I mean, I don't know any pigs that ice skate, and I don't know why they would pick a pig to be the mascot for an NHL team. But that actually tells you something about our state too. In the eastern part of North Carolina, there's lots of farmland. We grow things like soybeans. We also grow things like tobacco, and there's lots of pig farms. And so one of the things that the NHL team wanted to do was sort of honor what North Carolina was all about. So they picked a pig, Stormy the Warthog, to be our mascot in kind of honor of that part of our state that does a lot of farming. Anyways, there's lots more fun things to tell you about North Carolina, but I know that you have other things to do in class, so I'm going to let you go. Be sure that you ask Brianna to show you a few of the things that I sent her on the side about North Carolina. She's got a North Carolina flag and a couple of books. She's also got candy from my favorite candy store, and I hope she'll share it with you. So go ahead and check those things out. Biggest thing I want you to know about North Carolina, though, is that we're a fun state full of happy people. All right, be well, take care, have a good day.